It's the Bennettarium, and we're going to 2021.
2021? Are you out of your minds? We just did 2020. I'm done with 20s in the year. Bennettarium.
It's the Bennettarium, and we're going into the roaring 20s. It'll be a roaring good time in your home. Staying home, rolling around, roaring to yourself at home. Roar!
Gotta have my pops.
You know, from the welcome to the Bennettarium, where two Bennetts try to live in a terrarium.
Where two Bennetts try to convince another person to stay in steam-powered giraffe. No.
Hey, can we do a Biodome type movie one day?
Actually,
Biodome? I'm
glad you asked, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Pauly Shore.
I knew I had a Pauly Shore tingling.
I'm Isabella Bunny Bennett.
Wait, that's not the same guy.
Shut up.
Making
Save your Pauly Shore. Well, we're all going to do our best Pauly Shore impersonation while we introduce ourselves. Okay, here we go. Hi, I'm Isabella Bunny Bennett, and I play Rabbit and Gigi the Giraffe in Steam Powered Giraffe. Pauly Shore. Wait, that's Bobcat Goldthwait. Who the hell's Pauly Shore? Making something.
I don't know what Pauly Shore sounds like.
Encino Man, right? Is he Encino Man or is
Goof movie?
The
Goofy movie.
Son-in-law.
Yeah.
Cheese Whiz.
In the army now? Anybody else?
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones.
I'm trying to think of quotes, but they're all from the wrong character.
Next up on the list.
Hi, my name is Michael Bennett, and I play the Spine, and also Gigi the Giraffe, and also Zero. Hey, I'm Zero, and I know, uncanny, right? Did your Alexa think it was me?
Yeah, it always does.
Did you call for her? You almost got me to say it.
That's a Saturday Night Live sketch. I don't think it's Pauly Shore.
That's Rob Schneider. Similar.
Yeah, Rob Schneider.
Making copies.
Anyways, but it kind of sounds like Pauly Shore cadence.
Hello, I'm Chelsea Penyak. I'm a Walter worker with Steam Powered Giraffe, and I'm not funny.
What?
Right out of the gate, self-deprecating. That's what the audience says.
I don't do funny.
The audience
improv.
can't get enough of it.
Hey, let me hear that. Let me hear that Pauly Shore though. Let me hear that Pauly Shore.
Yeah,
though.
Pauly Shore.
Who's
Come on.
Pauly Shore?
Son-in-law.
Perfect. That was great. That was great. He says it a lot when he wakes up in the morning. That was amazing.
Look, I'm just gonna Google some Pauly Shore catchphrases.
All right, good.
I know of Pauly Shore, but I don't really know who he is.
I'm Pauly Shore, star of Biodome. That's when he's popular with
Hey,
catchphrases.
buddy. There's one.
Wasn't he in Midnight Gospel?
Am I a little?
I think he was.
I don't know.
Oh, maybe.
Trudy. I think that's
Do you watch Midnight Gospel? What?
I love Midnight Gospel.
You're like the only other person in the world
It's
I've talked to
amazing.
who like
It's
gets
an amazing
it.
series. I
I'm
love
like,
it.
it's like a podcast, but it's animated. I was like, I don't understand.
But except for there's that one episode where it's all just a script out of the blue for some reason. I love it.
All right, my name is Brian Barberin, and I play a Zero in Steam Powered Giraffe. I also play the Spine in Steam Powered Giraffe. I play Steam Powered Giraffe, and Chelsea the Walter Worker. That's my Chelsea impression.
Yeah.
And also the Pauly Shore, the Leaning Tower of Chisa.
Okay.
Is that him?
Yes.
That's him. That's Pauly Shore.
He does
Really?
have that
That's a
making
boy.
copies kind of cadence to some of his catchphrases.
I didn't know that was him.
Was Rob Schneider just doing Pauly Shore?
or someone stole something.
Pauly Shore, did Pauly Shore just absorb Rob Schneider's entire personality and then become that? Is this a Rob Schneider movie that's about to happen? Because I think it is.
Breaking news. A man has become a dog. Tuning in live now on the scene. Mr. Brian Barberin.
What?
Brian?
It was Pauly Shore. You know the guy from the Biodome? Whoa! Now look
Nobody remembers that movie.
You know, it's got Baldwin in it. Not that Baldwin. No, the other. No, not the hysteria. No, not that's hysterical. But no, please. All right. Anyways,
So let's get right into let's get the Steam Powered Giraffe news and events out of the way. Here's the news, Steam Powered Giraffe news hour here.
Okay.
And Brian, his with the news hour theme song.
I'm Steam Powered Giraffe. We're giving you the best, most honest, slightly lying to you news, but nobody tell anybody we're slightly misleading.
Steam Powered
With
Giraffe.
Gigi the Giraffe.
Okay. Well, now you get to.
Hi, welcome to the news. And Steam Powered Giraffe is. We got lots of stuff. I think. Where's my papers? What's on the board behind me? What does it say?
Steam Powered Giraffe is starting its own folk gospel band, and
It's a folk gospel band.
you got to have a lot of faith in it, just as we do on stage. Otherwise, you might not like what you hear.
We always pray before a show that nothing wrong could possibly go happen.
Okay, so hear me out. It's an entire gospel choir, but it's just us three. All right, and we'll record it right then and there. So each part we'll just repeat it over and over again until we get a full song.
So is Brian play all the basses?
Yes.
So we just duplicate ourselves.
But each bass has he's a different character. I'm from Alabama. Hey, I'm from California.
I mean, after a while, you're just gonna hold your nose like, yeah, this guy sounds like this.
They'll all just be the same. They'll all be like slightly Jamaican. Hey, man, it's me, man. No, it's not the best.
You do know that in choirs, usually not everyone gets a small personal introduction.
That's like what is
And here's the 100-person choir, and they're gonna tell you about themselves.
It's like the. I'm Cheryl. You know, a lot of people don't like Cheryl in the bass section, but I've been in the bass my whole life. I used to own horses.
I like the idea that everyone's clapping and there's like an organ in the background, and it takes like literally an hour to get through everyone, but they try to keep it.
And some of them are really good at rhythm. Some of them aren't so good at rhythm, but they try.
They're getting tired. They're clapping 4 steps together.
So yeah, that's the show.
That's the news. No, now we take it to Chelsea Peniak, who knows
Hello, everybody.
all about the merchandise hour.
Merch lady here. Okay.
Buddy, merchandise hour theme song.
merchandise is the best. Going to the merch, and we're all gonna have a good time. Gonna buy a hat. With me on it.
So today at the merch hour, we have some new products that we came out just in time to miss Christmas for.
Yes. The visual is just for the few people watching, but we have a brand new product in our store, the Vice Quadrant 2021 calendar. Artwork by Sam Luke, who played Hatchworth in Steam Powered Giraffe. This is all brand new artwork, but it's based off of the old drawings that art that Sam did for the Vice Quadrant timeline, which went up on our website in 2015, 2016.
You can find a link to that if you go to our store or our website. We have links to the old art as well as the calendar, and you can take a look at some sample images.
Yeah, it's really nice. It kind of chronologically illustrates the Vice Quadrant story from the album, so that's definitely.
And also each month features a picture of the robots washing a car. So there's 12 months of that, an individual picture.
That's a different calendar. We didn't want to make too much money, so we didn't put that one out.
So that's
2022.
Man, we should have done that.
it's just like
Can we have Sam draw that?
It's the same picture every month, and the robots are just like sitting in lawn chairs, and they never actually wash the car, but the seasons change behind them.
Oh my god.
There's like they have soap and water in their hand, and they're just like
It's just Gigi in the bathing suit laying in the car.
Gigi's on the car, and then like at the very end, there's like a fireman that's like coming out trying to take off his shirt. In the year in the review, we're like tell him to leave. So like 3 art pieces at max.
So anyway, go pick up your 2021 Vice Quadrant calendar. We also have all
Have the
of
2020 edition in case you just
Yeah.
don't want to move on.
Blank. It's just black. There's 3 months and then it's just blank. It's just a blank page.
So 13 art pieces, 12 months, as well as a year in review that also has an art. It's pretty nicely done. Bunny helped with the
Plus
cover.
plus a kiss on every package. Wow.
greasy lip
Wow.
mark.
COVID free kiss.
But if you really like the illustrations from the calendar, we also have them available as individual prints on our website now.
And
Yes.
you'll be happy to know that the profits not only go to Steam Powered Giraffe, but they also Samuel Luke has already made money off them because
Yes.
I paid him in advance for them all.
And he needs to buy his mustache oil to massage
He sure does.
his mustache. I don't know what the maintenance is on facial hair.
Did you know
do you have
that
to do comb it and apply oils,
Yes.
Brian?
Half of my paycheck goes directly to my facial hair.
Oh.
I can't even imagine what Sam's goes to. It's supposed to be at least 75% of it. So if you enjoy that,
He's also
Sam,
a redhead, so I don't know if that requires more
it's
maintenance.
extra. Yes, it's extra. All right, they don't have the right colors for it's like
He has
Right.
to make his
they don't have the right
You
shades.
just gotta buy a red comb.
Look, we just got red Band-Aids, all right, this year. Okay, we finally, after all this year, we got red Band-Aids we can put on our beards. So, things are different.
So also in
Things are
Steam Powered
true.
Giraffe news, I think the Bennettarium is the last Steam Powered Giraffe thing besides what we're working on post for Patreon that we make, and that's it. That's the,
What about the thing we're doing? What about the thing we're doing tomorrow? What about the surprise thing that we're going to do tomorrow?
well.
What are we doing tomorrow? What did I
What
forget?
about that? Huh?
Well, you do know this is probably
look at
coming
the
out.
calendar.
This is probably coming out either right at the new year.
Wait, what's
or-
going on?
You should specify
going
the
on
last
tomorrow?
thing of 2020.
last
You
thing.
just said the last thing is this
I'm like,
podcast.
looking at my calendar, like, oh my god, what I forget? What I forget?
Yeah.
This is the last Bennettarium
Of 20
podcast. It's the last
Ever.
thing Steam Powered Giraffe is doing
in this
as a
year.
No.
this year for 2020.
Well, let's just assume that when it like hits midnight, everything just goes dark. So this is
There
like,
ain't nothing going on the next few days.
This is the
Lie to
last.
me.
Go
This is
check
the last
your
Bennettarium.
Go check your mailbox for that
Of all
stimulus
time.
check. Maybe it appears right at midnight.
Let's discuss what we're all
They
going
just-
to buy with our $600.
They take out money at midnight. They take out 600 and send you a check. Like, hey, wait a second.
I was thinking maybe the 20 nugget, but now I'm like, okay, 30,
I
35
was
piece.
almost going to go on a rant about stimulus and Republicans, but I stopped myself.
No, that's today's stuff. We can't talk about that.
Oh, we can't. We got to keep it light.
Yeah, got to keep it light and buttery.
Yes.
We got
Keep
to
it pure.
whip it up. We
Like this LaCroix.
get that froth.
I
frothing.
got a frother for Christmas.
Go
for
get it.
real.
We'll get this.
So
we'll froth
we
the
can
lightness of
we
this
can
conversation.
make homemade salted cream cold brew.
Remember the Bennettariums where we used to like sample cookies and stuff?
Yeah.
Remember those days?
Remember when we like shared air?
Little did we know, all that was a detriment to our daily lives.
Remember when
we don't
sat
get to
right
talk
next
that
to
much.
each
Like,
other?
I mean, we like work and stuff, but like now that we know that we ain't going back to normal life anytime soon.
This is
You know,
normal life.
like-
We're
How many
what we're looking forward
germaphobes
to
do
is the
you
utopia.
think just got created? How many germaphobes do you think just got created?
I was already a
And then how many germaphobes do you think were vindicated? Like, you fools. You fools. I've known about this the whole time, and
Right.
y'all been walking around like, y'all, like, no one can touch you. Now look at you, sneezing and coughing. I've been covering up for my whole life.
So we should probably point this out. The last Bennettarium was in October, and at that time, our new album was not out. So now we're going to talk about the new album. Brian,
I
take it away with
forgot.
the new album talk
Oh,
theme
shoot.
song.
Whoa!
It's wow.
Whoa!
Every day is a new album day, except for this last couple months, cause it's been out, and every day afterwards you listen to the album. It's new album time.
Thank you for
New album.
steering that in the right direction.
In the darkest days, suddenly a ray of hope shines in 2020. The new Steam-Powered Giraffe album. It's called it's called 1896.
Happiness is
That's
only
Album 2.
how much is it digitally? Is only $15 away, or free if you don't want the acoustic songs and you just.
Do you want to
listen
be
it on
happy?
Spotify.
No.
That's the ad. Buy it.
What, the CD's like $30? Is that how much it is?
Yeah.
It's a 2-disc album, so
Yes.
Play it on your CD player.
everyone says it's cool, and people are liking it. Real good feedback on it.
Yeah.
People seem to like the acoustic songs and all the stuff.
They say we're such a handsome band.
Yeah.
They have said that several times.
But hey, don't take our word for it. You probably already listened to it if you're listening to this obscure podcast.
Let's hear it from local giraffe, Gigi. Yeah, it's a great album, and I'm getting paid every time you buy one, right?
Yeah, Gigi. The check's in the mail. It's coming. You're on there. You're on there. You're getting there.
Don't worry,
Sweet.
Gigi. We're putting it inside your monthly allowance for bubble gum.
Oh boy,
So you'll get 2 quarters.
bubblegum.
It's actually pretty evil. Like,
Look at you spoiling the Gigi over here in your 2 quarters. It's very nice.
It's just sad. It's just sad.
Yeah, but it's never
Sad
inflated.
giraffe.
Okay?
it's actually fun to try to say.
Well, that's the thing. She doesn't. She's just picking gum off like off of movie theater seats. You know, it doesn't even cost her anything.
Well,
No,
she
it
has
costs her the price to go into the movie theater. It's just scrape the gum
It's
off.
more. It's more than buying a pack of gum. She's an addict. Okay, she's got a problem. She's got her own.
One
problem.
movie theater could have like 30 things of gum.
That's
And hey,
true.
now she can rent out a whole theater for like $30 because play Mario Kart on the big screen.
There you go.
While she chews bubble.
Can you do that legit? Because
Yeah, I saw
that's
some
all. I
theaters
don't
do
want to
that.
watch a movie.
I
want
still
to
don't
play a
want to
video.
do. I would not do it in the pandemic, even with no one. in the
Yeah,
theater,
it's true.
but they're definitely renting out theaters for whatever you want. You know,
What if you had a like a hand sanitizer like flamethrower thing, and you went in there and like
it probably is only in like certain. It's probably not in California. That doesn't make any sense for us here. They would.
what if you had a hazmat suit?
If I was in a hazmat
Hey, can we
suit,
get
why
space?
not?
Can we get space helmets? What's going on with space helmets? Can we get some of those? Those seem like
You
fun.
have to be an astronaut. You have to be.
Like, can we all just wear spacesuits now? Have we gone to the point where we can wear spacesuits? Because I want to wear spacesuits. I don't want to wear masks
It'd be
anymore.
fun for like a day, but then you'd be like,
No, it would be fun forever. A spacesuit would be fun forever. You kidding me? With an awesome mask on it, it'd be cool. And like, you wouldn't have to smell any bad smells ever again when you're
Spacesuits are real
outside.
expensive. They're like custom made for you.
You have to smell yourself.
You don't have to smell yourself all the time. You know, that's it's your own heaven or your own hell. All right, you make it yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, new album out. We're working on.
You're gonna want to put that in.
I
It's a
just,
great stocking stuffer if you're still looking to
forgot that
stuff some stockings.
we haven't
post
done one of these
Christmas.
since it came out. Because
Yeah.
it feels like it's been 5 years since November.
we had a new music video and some audio videos for some of the other tracks, and yeah, so we'll have more music videos next year, and we'll put out new songs. Even though we're not coming out with an album next year, we're definitely going to be putting out some new songs, and an online show eventually. We'll put out an online show next year too. So there's I think that's enough Steam Powered Giraffe news. And oh yeah, no shows in person.
Yeah.
For the time being. We'll see how 2025 looks. Okay.
Telling you, spacesuits. If we
Dude.
had spacesuits, we could be doing a show right now.
Yeah,
That's all I'm
we
saying.
could.
If we had invested in spacesuits in March, we'd all the high life right now. We'd be living
If
high life.
I was an audience
True.
member, nothing would make a show better than The Constant Fear for My Life.
Hey,
Spacesuits for everyone in the audience too.
The Flaming Lips did a concert with everyone in bubbles.
Oh yeah.
Huh?
I
Wow,
saw
like the
pictures of
audience?
that.
Yeah, the entire audience was in
Yeah,
bubbles.
they were all
I don't
like
know. I
hamster
don't know.
balls.
Yeah, I don't know if they were in bubbles. As a matter of fact, I think they were in bubbles. I think they jumped on top of the bubbles, though. I think that, of course,
Wow.
because of course you would.
They obviously,
Of course you would jump
everyone
on
who
it.
went to that theater had to sign a, if I break some bones,
Yeah,
bubble.
for sure. Some bones were broken. Some ankles were sprained.
We should probably get through these
sprained.
Bennettarium questions from our Patreon patrons.
Right.
Before we get into the meat of the
Are they
Bennettarium.
multiple?
It's question time.
Let's make David do one. All right?
Oh, you're right. That was the segue into the intro for.
He's been throwing them our way. I feel like someone needs a
there you
theme
go.
song himself. Boo!
It's the question hour. It's only going to take 5 minutes.
It takes an hour. Oh, okay. It's like, Jesus.
That was actually really good.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's you should write all the jingles.
Longer than 5 minutes.
Let's see if you got another one in you.
Where's that jug? No, I don't have an infrared video.
I'm trying to whistle, but it's hard to read. You can't whistle and laugh. It's an impossible task.
It's pretty good.
Questions.
That was great. That was
Okay.
great.
Yeah, I like
job.
it. All right.
Okay, first question. This is from Song of Aaron. How did you guys get into American folk music? And have you ever been to a contra or a Sealid? Something I can't pronounce.
Have I ever been to a contra?
Let's answer the first question. How
How'd
did we
you-
get into American folk music?
Yeah.
Well, as a white person,
American folk music actually finds you in the forest late at night.
Well, as a white man, in my cradle.
You're out there somewhere, steam-powered giraffe.
I think the folkiness from Steam Powered Giraffe comes from us being an indie band for one. No. I think it's just the members that have been in the band. We've appreciated harmonies, and there's a lot of harmonies in folk music and stuff like that, Americana and stuff like that. But obviously, we genre hop all the time, and it's only one influence. And some of our songs definitely have that folky feel to them. Acoustic guitars, busking, and all that. But my inspiration for folk music and stuff was, the folk music of I would guess people would call it like oldies and classic rock and stuff. But the most standout one for me would be something like The Band, Canadian band who basically made American folk music.
Yeah.
And I think it's just so good. It's like it's drawn that line of between classic rock and folk, and they do some harmonies, and it's real nice. And
Totally.
yeah, I think it's just the appreciation of music in general. Obviously, folk is an easy one to tie to us because we have so many acoustic-y kind of sounding songs with harmonies. But I think all of us are just fans of music in general.
And I want to apologize. I didn't know how to pronounce that word, but apparently it's Irish and it's pronounced Kaylee. Have you ever been to a contra or a
Kaylee.
Kaylee? Yeah, I hope I'm saying that.
Kaylee. A contra sounds like a seance. I've been to a seance.
I looked up what the
similar?
Oh, you
Kaylee
have?
was, and it was and it's like an Irish kind of festival thing, something like that.
Yeah.
Like Scottish. I think.
Oh, okay.
I think Scottish.
Yeah. I
No, is it Irish? No? Okay.
Never mind. You're right. It's
think it's Irish. I've never been to one. That's my answer.
Well,
No.
no. What about you, Brian? No, we already know. No.
What? No, I haven't. I definitely haven't. No.
What about you, Bunny?
Oh, I would love to.
What made you get
Yeah.
into folk music?
Where's
Oh,
Where's
I just
that
moved my
happen?
camera.
What made you get into folk music, Bunny?
I mean, we kind of grew up with like listening to similar stuff, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, just whatever was on, and there's a lot of good folk music out there, and maybe it was growing up with parents who were like Western reenactors, and maybe that kind of gave us like a segue from country music into folk and stuff. I don't know.
I mean,
I think it's just
California,
having
so it's not like we have like southern roots or something.
Yeah, but having I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm in California.
Yeah. By the way, it just somehow worked its way in. I guess having eclectic tastes in music does that. It just you draw from everything, and obviously being American, there's a lot of folk music.
Brian, you got anything to add on to folk music?
Jim Croce.
Oh, okay.
Jim Croce. That's it. That's all I got to add. And Jim Croce, I think he lived in San Diego for a while, which I did not know. Or maybe I did, and maybe that's why he was prevalent in like the listening experience. But I remember, number one, listening to it in like movies or something like that, Time in the Bottle, and thinking that was really cheesy, and then listening to the full song and then being like, oh, like when it opens up, but you never have, no, like that stuff is like gorgeous. His finger picking, his guitar playing, and his lyrics. I love that stuff. So yeah, folk music gets me in that way. Watching The Last Waltz was definitely a big change. I mean, and I think it was the notion of like that kind of music was boring, and was always just going to be like two like a guitar player, like two guitar players, which is cool. But like I'm like especially when I go to shows, like I need like to feel like that energy, and like watching the band put on a show and hearing those voices, like, and not soft harmonies, but like how like everyone's going for. Shit down, it's just like, what? Like, you can do that? Like, everyone is so in sync in that band.
And they all have pretty
special.
iconic voices too, even the guitar player Robbie, whatever. I mean, he doesn't sing, but you can tell when like he talks and stuff. And the other guy, man, I should know their names because I like them, but that's super tragic with some of their members and stuff, drugs and stuff like that too. But like most artists, they shine brightly. And but Levon Helm went out with a bang. Last album, Dirt Farmer.
Yeah.
Even after throat cancer and stuff, he still found a voice. So,
I like that one song. We'll burn this train to cinders, so throw the money down. The Jesse James song that he did.
Oh, okay.
Pretty cool.
But yeah, I'd also recommend watching Last Waltz. It's even if you don't like the band, they have so many. I guess
Dr.
cameos.
John and Muddy Waters.
It's just, and there's just so many like iconic like memories from that show too, which was like the band's last show because they had been playing for like 20 years, and then they were like, hey, we're done. But and I guess it was directed by Martin Scorsese, if I'm remembering correctly.
Scorsese, yeah.
I mean, and it was pretty heavily. There's like weird things with it, like you can, Rob, whatever his name is, the guitarist. They definitely was friends with Scorsese, and they kind of built it around him, kind of like trying to make him look a little bigger, which is kind of weird, especially when he's singing into a microphone that's not plugged in. It's because he's not a singer. He just he gets into the music, but it's just weird that's what they need. They tried to make it look like he was singing. I mean, he mouths words and stuff, like how guitarists do and stuff. Anyway, little fun facts, lots of stuff. Oh, what's his name? Was it Eric Clapton? His strap fell off in the middle of a song. I mean, they just they just kept going on, but it was like I think
I watched that with you years ago.
Yeah, because it's just like, it's fun when stuff goes wrong on stage.
Yeah. I think that show opened me up to a lot of other people too, like Van Morrison, who is like very much like everyone knows Brown Eyed Girl, and then goes, man, but Van Morrison rocks, man. Like he's got some heavy songs, and the songs he does on Last Waltz are awesome.
Yeah. It's a pretty good.
Gloria.
Pretty good. Oh yeah, and the keyboard organ player guy, that guy's insane.
Dr. John, such a nice. Or in the band.
In the band, but you're right too. That's also nice. I mean, there's not a bad. It's just the whole thing is fun to listen to if you like music, and if you don't know who's coming out, that's also interesting.
Yeah, cool.
Anyway,
next question. This question comes from Finn. Y'all have been talking about the SPG cartoon you've been hoping to make. So I was wondering, is there any possibility or chance the SPG heroes will be showing up in it, like a flashback to Rex Marksley, or maybe the robots helping Ollie and the Equinox Band? Probably not either of those specifically, but those were just the first things that came to mind. So this SPG cartoon that we've been talking about a little bit. Guess they're asking about heroes and other characters within the SPG universe possibly showing up in it.
Well, for those of you who aren't privy to it because of maybe not on Patreon or haven't heard us talk about it on our Patreon publicly or stuff, we have a little bit. We're in development of an SPG animated cartoon and pitching it and stuff. So that's going to be years long endeavor of
something we started doing.
But yeah, I think the first thing is like we'd love to answer all that, but unfortunately it's not the right time to talk about any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But anything and everything is possible, so
we're definitely
you can think
rooting
about
for
it, you can
everything.
imagine it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun to imagine it. But yeah, we can't really
It's
talk
fun.
about it. Our hopes and dreams,
Yeah.
This next question is from Kaylee. On the last Bennettarium, you told us your favorite frozen treat. To switch it up, and since winter is coming, what is everyone's favorite cold weather comfort food?
Pizza.
pizza's
Cold weather, hot weather.
Cold
Pizza's
weather
always
comfort
good.
food. It really depends
All year
on my
round.
mood.
I haven't
When
had
pizza's
pizza
on
in
a
a while.
bagel, you can have pizza anytime.
We made lobster bisque last night.
Ooh.
Delicious.
Oh
Number one, I
my
never made it.
gosh.
Number two, the lobster was like $6. It was like $6 a pound. I was like,
What?
give me all the lobster that you have. But yeah, that was. I like
That sounds
soups
amazing.
like that, or like
Yeah.
something that I'm cooking in a pot for like a really long time, like even like like chili Colorado, like some like super like tender like spicy pork things. I like to get that Dutch oven out and like cook up something like that, and like some biscuits,
Oh,
like soup and biscuits. That's what I want.
a couple months ago.
Or like a stew.
Yeah,
Some biscuits.
I made a broccoli cheddar soup, broccoli cheddar potato soup in my Instant
that
Pot.
sounds good.
First time I've ever
Uh-huh.
tried it, like from scratch, and it was pretty good.
I remember eating
That
that.
sounds awesome.
I like, I mean, just in general for cold weather, I like ramen, but I haven't had a lot of ramen lately because I don't
it's
go
weird
out
to
to
think
restaurants
Ramen's pretty
anymore.
good.
Because like without like ordering stuff, it's kind of like, well, there's different things I'd make at home than I would eat out, and most of the
Yeah.
eating out things are kind of like, oh, let's have a hamburger, let's have a pizza, something that you don't do very often.
For
But now it's
sure.
like, well, I don't do it at all. So
Uh,
yeah, I don't really have anything now that I'm like excited for.
Yeah, I kind of just eat whatever I can get from Amazon right now
Pretty
because
much.
I don't go out to restaurants. Very,
We-
very rarely, like pick something up.
we keep some miso in the house, some miso paste. So like a quick miso soup, because that's just like just get some onions, some broth, and
Yeah.
like a little bit of tofu. Throw the miso in there. That's like a quick, super comforting. And it's like whenever I'm feeling sick or something like that, it's like that's a quick.
So
thing to do.
good.
I think if I'm sick, chicken noodle probably help. Taste,
Oh, yeah.
because it doesn't. I don't know. It has that taste of that. You're like you can still taste it even when you're sick, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
But I
Cool.
don't think I'm
Yeah,
don't
for
really
me,
have
it like
a-
depends on my mood, so I don't really have like a go-to favorite. But I guess I'd say ramen.
I like food. I like eating. I definitely don't like soup. It's gotta
I know
be,
you don't like
it's gotta
soup,
be
that's right.
chunky because otherwise I'm just drinking
Yeah.
water and I feel like weird. I drink
For
water
sure.
all day. Why do I want to drink hot water? But
Brothy water, bone water.
if someone gives me
Bone
soup,
water. Love me a good bone
I still
water.
eat soup. I'm just always disappointed. I'm like, it's so watery. It takes forever to
Hey,
eat.
well, when I made that broccoli cheddar soup, I also bought a big French baguette and like toasted it in the oven.
Oh,
so you
yeah.
could, like, scoop it.
And then when the
felt like a
baguette's gone,
hobbit.
you're like, well, I don't want the rest of the soup. Give me more of that bread.
Yeah, it's just for dipping.
Yeah. You just use the bread as a spoon.
There's a joke here in the Bennett household that we all have to have our daily allotment of bread.
Oh,
We just ended up
really?
kept buying like non-bread and stuff, and like,
Yeah.
Camille, it's time
Yeah.
for your daily bread. Like we heated it up. You gotta have
You
some.
gotta come get your,
with your
your
hummus.
slice of Yeah.
So,
I'm about that too.
Yeah.
My dad was always like a huge like he loves like French bread, like a loaf of French bread. So it was always like there was always a loaf of French bread, and then it would always get stale, of course.
Yeah.
And then you do your French toast. It was like his favorite thing.
the magic of sprinkling it with a little water and putting it in the microwave or something. Whatever people do.
Dip it in egg and throw it on. It's like wow. Like throw it in the crouton.
Just like fresh bread.
Yeah. Gross.
Exactly. As if bread's so expensive and
I know, right?
in other ways it's a big. Well, I guess some loaves of bread can be expensive.
Sure.
Does Bunny have a favorite cold weather food?
Other than pizza.
Oh yeah, pizza.
Just
That's
pizza. I'm real boring, guys. I mean, ramen's great. Like, I love
right.
ramen.
I haven't had, except for the little packets that aren't real ramen. I haven't had like a proper ramen from a restaurant in a long time.
Yeah, I'll tell you a comfort meal that I would love to have. That cheese pie from Brown's Pie Shop.
in the UK.
Like if I could have
takes
that
it back.
on a rainy day, like the stuff. It's just
We
like
had it twice the last time we went there. It was so good. Like,
we had to.
Yeah, you guys went
I'm
back.
so glad we went.
you can't
so
understand how good it is, you guys. You'll never
We
understand.
went the second year or something there. Or the first
Yeah.
year. I can't remember when we.
We-
tried.
It's as good as I remember it. I can
think it was-
taste. I can remember the bitterness and the
Yeah.
I think
cheesy,
we went the
creaminess
middle
and,
year,
so
2017, but I don't think I had Browns the last time we went.
Wait, flaky crust.
We went to that one that was in a cellar. Right?
I want it.
Yeah, that's Browns.
That's Brown's.
Yeah, Browns.
Eat
Pie
it, and
Shop.
even I can even smell the basement,
In the
smell
cellar?
Yeah.
the cellar.
I have pictures
Yeah.
of me down there.
No, you're
I
saying.
get it.
Yeah,
I get
we ate in
I
the
can feel
cellar.
the bump
I
on my
thought we
head
could go
from the
in-
There was like a
cellar.
spider coming down, but
Yeah, we went once.
them pies were real good.
It was like a spider from like the 18th century.
I mean, the building is like Sweeney Todd. It's like
Yeah.
super
Yeah.
narrow and super tall. There's like two stories, and you're eating in a cellar, and it's like, yeah, this is Sweeney Todd.
the rats have top hats and little scarves.
But it was really good. Like, oh gosh,
We also
their
had,
food is delicious.
The first year with Sam, we had Thai food.
Yeah, we went to a Thai restaurant
Yeah.
in 2016.
Thai
with
food's
Sam.
pretty good.
And it was
Over
probably
there.
the best Thai food I've had. It was in
People
Lincoln.
are always saying like British food sucks, and it's like I don't know. Like,
Yeah, we have some.
it's amazing.
What
Remember
I
that Cantonese Chinese place?
Oh, I
we
was
went
just
to?
gonna say
That
what I
Cantonese
really
place?
liked
Yeah,
about being there is
was it Camille Bryan?
yeah, I think it was
David.
And the shrimp chips. Oh yeah, with the Scottish guy who like we couldn't understand.
Yeah.
it was me and you.
great.
We were picking it up.
I ordered
for-
Domino's one night, and
Yeah.
the Domino's guy like talked my head off for like an hour, and
Oh,
was like,
really?
I just really just want to eat my pizza.
I had
My pizza's getting colder.
My British pizza is getting cold.
Yeah, there was one night I think in the last year 2018 when like me and Brian walked to this Cantonese restaurant to like pick up food for everyone, and this old Scottish guy like grabbed mints from the bowl and like started passing them out to everyone in the lobby. We were like it was like 3 feet away. He just like grabbed a bunch of mints and started giving them to us, and we're like, "Thank you." Like put it in my pocket.
he was
throw it away.
Yeah, he was like drunk.
Oh yeah.
And like it was like that scene in Hot Fuzz where like they go out to like the countryside and they're talking to the farmer. The farmer's like, and then like the old guy kind of mumbles something to that guy, and then he says something legible. That's exactly what it was. Like the Scottish guy would say something to the English guy, and the English guy was like, "Oh yeah, he wants to give you this mint." We're like, "Oh yeah, what?" It's like, and he'd say something he's like, and then we look at the English guy, and he's like, "I don't even know what he said." It was great.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
my
we also
God.
should point out that there's also like there was a steampunk festival going on too, so a lot of these shops and stuff, are
Yeah.
anticipating the bigger crowds and
But
stuff.
but
and
that
there's a lot
is
more people.
one thing I really like about I don't know if it's all around the UK, but where we were staying in Lincoln, there's so many Cantonese style Chinese restaurants, and I don't know why, but there's no Cantonese restaurants in San Diego. It's all
I don't think there is really.
No, it's all other styles of Chinese cuisine, and I
You
love
know what?
Cantonese food.
I took a picture on someone on Reddit was talking about Chinese food, and I
Oh.
saw a Cantonese one, and I said, "Screenshot real quick
Yeah.
because I'm gonna check it out." So we'll look it up. We'll
Yes,
look it up.
yes.
Oh, in 5 years, we'll look it up.
Yeah.
They're still around.
Because I
in
think
5
that
years. If they're
almost
still-
every Chinese restaurant that I know of in our area is Szechuan style.
Yeah, a lot of Szechuan.
Not enough Cantonese. So
Yeah, and then a lot of just like American
Yeah.
chop suey style.
So we have 2 more questions, I think.
anyway, yeah, I could talk about food forever. It's been a long time since I had restaurant food. Okay, next question is from Dub Martell. Is the Necronaut responsible for the disappearance/deaths of the heroes the band sings about, i.e. Captain Albert Alexander, Rex Marksley, Tacky Boom Boom, etc.? Is the Necronaut responsible?
Tacky Boom Boom died.
It sounds like sounds like spoilers. Well, I mean, we haven't explored any of those possibilities, so
Like the
I don't know
Necronaut
why.
is still slowly making his way to Earth.
Yeah, like there's
Yeah.
got to be a reason for us to.
5 feet every year.
We've never stated that, and until that happens, I don't have anything to say. I don't know, like
Yeah, you.
it's anything could happen, but that's not, it's not something that's currently happening. I don't know if that's
We wouldn't
how
be
much- I
answering
don't
this
wanna
question. We probably wouldn't be answering this question if it was the case.
yeah.
So
It's a good thought though. I mean, I like the
True.
idea,
It's
but no,
but no, yeah. We have our own.
not right now.
We'll get to it in 10 years.
We've got one more
Yeah,
question.
I mean,
Sorry.
totally. No, I'm just saying it just is not a question that, like, if you have to ask, it's probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't been able to explore.
Because if we're gonna make something like clever like that, we'd try to like give you more hints, make it more obvious, right?
Yeah.
Okay, last question is from Bird Jesus. Are there currently any plans for a full version of Laying Down in Your Arms and or more music by Ollie and the Equinox Band?
Okay. Well, I think what we have on the album was always the original idea of what we wanted. We didn't want it to be a full song. We wanted it to be cut off. That was kind of what I pitched to the band and what we kind of went along with as we were making the album and stuff. And also with COVID and the pandemic, it also was kind of born out of the ability. Like I think, and this is just me personally, out of all 3 or 4 takes we got from vocals from people, only one of them probably could have been used on an actual album song. The rest aren't professionally done in such a way. Like the singers, whatever, are good, but like they
Like
weren't
recording.
they weren't recorded good enough to use on an album.
The equipment.
But it worked fine to make a live. Because I put so much reverb and put them in a room, so it sounded like, like they were probably on stage.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big thing. Like, but if we wanted to do something like that, of course we could make it happen, especially in a non-COVID world, pandemic. So I think what we accomplished in the album was exactly what we set out to do, and there's no current plans for something like that. But never say never, like Justin Bieber said some time ago.
Justin Bieber said that?
That was his movie. Well,
He did a whole tour called Never Say Never.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Justin
it's
Bieber.
fun. It's one of those also like, of course it could be an additional thing. Obviously we wouldn't just make a whole album all in the Equinox bands, not have any of our voices on it, and then basically it's just David putting together stuff, doing some instruments, and then Bunny and Brian are like, yeah, that sounds good.
I mean, I guess is that what like people would want? Like like what do people imagine? Like because I mean it's cool ideas, like nothing's off the table. I'm just like what do people imagine when they suggest something like that? Like we're gonna have, like we would have a product that for Ollie and the Equinox Band that would be separate or something.
It would be very,
or like with just like a video or.
I could, even though we have absolutely no plans for any of that.
Like, I'm not talking about anything that we might have plans with.
I can see us, if we, in the future, in some form that, we're gonna hear a few more minutes of maybe them playing a song or something. But like, it would have to be the right avenue for that.
But if you're like, if you're into something and you're like, and you're like, man, I want to see more of that. Like, totally, like maybe let us know and. Because, like, your guys' reactions could always fuel our interest down the line.
I will say, though, it doesn't make much sense to put so much effort into a band that doesn't exist and is just the combination of people.
I guess, yeah. I mean, that's kind of the thing that I'm...
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm talking about. Is like, what
other avenues?
What would be the best way? What do you think that we could actually like do that, and would it even be beneficial to do that? We could, we could do anything.
I think side stuff. It's always would always be something like that. Like, we're putting out with another album, but there's a hidden thing where you get to hear Ollie singing some other stuff. Like, sure, we would never say never, but there's no plans for that or to hear the full version of Laying Down in Your Arms. Oh,
sorry. Go ahead. What are you saying?
No full version of Laying Down in Your Arms. That was never planned. The song was built to be cut off. But I mean, I wrote it like a full song, so it's not like we couldn't. It's just the idea got across the way we imagined it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
What were you gonna say?
Were you gonna
Hey,
say?
you think Justin Bieber had a lot of never in his life? Never say never. I mean, he was like 6 years old when he was like famous. Like, I don't think he's ever had like a moment where like,
It is a
hey,
little-
you had that? Like,
it's a little
never, Justin
skewed.
Bieber. Like, how? Like, what? Like, the nerve of that guy to be like, never say never. Anybody like, oh, your dreams, like your dreams came true when like you were 6 years old. Like, that's it. Like that was the epitome of it. And like that's. Never say never over here. Get out of
Yeah. He was banging around on a toy piano and is like,
Yeah,
someday
and his
I'm
dreams
gonna
came
be-"
true.
Yeah, no, that's you've
like-
seen the videos,
that's-
the commercials for it.
That's like how many kids were like playing their guitars like, man, I'm gonna be a famous rock star. And it was like, no, you're not. But it was like, he was like, man, I'm gonna be a famous rock star. They're like, yeah, you are. It's like, yay! Like,
that's basically what it is.
Technically, that's how it happened.
Yeah.
That's exactly. I remember when he blew up.
yeah, never say never though.
It doesn't really
It's
apply
never
to
gonna happen.
most people.
It's like one in a million, probably more than that.
You think he said it right before like Usher called him? Like his parents were like, that's never gonna happen. He's like, yeah, you're right. It's never gonna happen. Usher? Like, oh wow.
So yeah, eschewed. Definitely not a dose of reality there. So I think that's all the Bennettarium questions, right?
Yeah, that's it for Bennettarium questions. You can
What are the
always
Justin
submit
Bieber
those
questions
at
that
what
I have?
level? What tier for Patreon?
What level?
Sorry, what level?
If you're a giraffe echelon level, no, I don't know.
You can.
But you've bought your membership card.
I think it's the $10
Wait,
tier.
why don't we name them after the levels of hell? That would be fun.
They're kind of like puns, but not very good ones.
Well, I know that. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, if you're
Next
a
time.
patron at the $10
$10
level,
$10 level.
I
which
should
is
really know this.
10-gallon giraffe hat.
You
That's not
can
really
submit
fun. Yeah.
Bennettarium questions to us on our Discord channel.
Yep.
Trying to plug it.
And then we'll answer them the next Bennettarium in February.
We
At the end
do
of
we do
February.
Bennettarium every 2 months.
Now, for the last, 15, 20 minutes of this Bennettarium, I figure we should do a new section that I like to call Steam Powered Giraffe, interview Steam Powered Giraffe. And theme song.
Yeah, theme song. Go ahead, David. Theme song.
No, I already did 2 in a row.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I whistled.
Ooh, Buddy's got it.
It's the Steam Powered Giraffe, interview Steam Powered Giraffe. Okay, I didn't have much of a rhythm there.
Whoa! There you go. There's my contribution.
I mean, it would be weird if we had this weird fully produced thing and we just busted it out. No one would appreciate
Wouldn't it be
that,
amazing?
and everyone would kind of roll
We'd
their
do it
eyes.
for just we'd spend so much time on it for just one episode.
Well, also,
Never
it'd
use it
be
again.
pretty
Seconds.
challenging with the delay of the streaming and stuff because we're not using the low.
We
latency
spent
stuff.
like 3 months on this, everyone. We hope you enjoy this one singular episode for this
We
bit.
figured out the delay, the average delay of the video, and and we synced it up.
Okay,
Well, I mean, look, time committed to jokes that are this small. My threshold is pretty high as long as the joke pays off.
I mean, if we had money and you could just throw money at any situation and it'll get done. It's like, yeah, hire a bunch of people to produce that.
So I'll start off with this since this was my segue into it, and I'll start with a question for Brian. But this will go all ways. So we'll just it's just us
my
asking
goodness.
each other questions as if we're guests on our own podcast because we don't really have
wow.
guests. We had a few back in the day when we started the podcast, but we don't. But seeing people is not a thing anymore. And setting up, we could do Discord calls with other people. There's no reason we couldn't, but we'd have to schedule it in. Anyways, so
You could.
my question is, as a kid, kids have a pretty active imagination. They make
Not me.
pretend that they're things, pirates, cowboys, stuff like that. And yeah, we all play board games or Red Rover, come over here and break our arms game. That one.
I broke a lot of arms in that game.
I'm not talking about that kind of stuff. But what games did you play with your friends or siblings? Did you you, Brian, pretended to be something like, maybe it wasn't like laser tag. Did you have any of those games that were basically like cost $0 for your parents to invest into, and you just kind of did it yourself? Maybe you had a prop or something, but yeah.
For sure, there was no prop. It was just like, all right, what character do you really like? All right, now we're like, oh, you like the Hulk? Oh, cool. I like Wolverine. Like, you're gonna be Hulk. I'm gonna be Wolverine. This guy will be Snake Eyes. Oh, he's gonna be Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe's. Cool. And now Wolverine, Snake Eyes, and the Hulk are going on a mission. And what's the mission? The mission is to get the, whatever it might be. And then we'll just like cross the monkey bars as those characters and act like under the bleachers. We'd be under the bleachers acting wait until we were probably way too old to be doing this. But 100% I was so into it. And even you get people who be like, all right, let's play house. Or let's do this. Like, all right, I'll be the mother. I'll be the gorilla. Like, and I'm the gorilla's in here. Like, oh no,
I'll be the Incredible Hulk.
yeah, and I'll be Wolverine. Like, come on, bub. Like, no, you can't be. Like, yeah, bub, come on.
Give me breakfast, Mom.
Yeah. Oh, you want pancakes? Yeah. Like, that was just like.
Is that how you would do the claws?
Yeah. You want some? Yeah.
Oh no! I broke my claws.
Oh, and that's how David got detention.
Okay, and who would dictate?
Definitely did a lot of that.
It was definitely a lot of back and forth, right, Brian?
Running around and saying I'm the Hulk or something.
Yeah, I mean, we would watch a movie like the Ewoks movie back in the day that we loved, and then it's like, all right, you pick a character from that, and then that's what you are, and we're gonna go in the backyard and do something.
The Ewok movie?
Character, and you're this character, yeah.
Like the Christmas special, or
no? Have you ever seen the Ewok movie, Battle for Endor and Caravan of Courage?
For some reason, I was thinking of the holiday special, which doesn't have any Ewoks in it.
No, I never watched. I didn't watch that until last year. It was great, though. There's some good stuff. Good stuff in there.
So I
Chewbacca's family.
I don't know if you have something to add to this, Bunny, but I definitely have something in my back pocket of memories of imaginative childhood stuff.
What a miss.
Brian pretended to be
continue.
Wolverine while playing house.
Also, there was a lot of incredible shrinking stuff going on where we were all
because Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
And then we were fighting. Yeah, and we were fighting like giant bugs. That happened a lot. I don't know why I just did. Anyways, continue.
I'm not good at summing it up. I did take a long time to ask.
Childhood, like games you played.
Yeah,
with your siblings
that aren't that cost your parents $0 that you just kind of did.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I have an answer, but you guys go first.
Bunny's
go ahead and finish.
Yeah, I don't know, freeze tag. I remember so much. I don't
remember freeze tag.
Just come up with a plot or an idea, and we'd do it. We'd pretend we'd have our own TV stations and stuff.
Most of the time I remember playing with Bunny. It was either when we were growing up. Or at school, sometimes in elementary school and stuff, we wouldn't really be playing with anyone else, and we would just kind of go into our own kind of, I wouldn't say world together, but it was definitely
for sure.
Oh, we have a television show, so we had for whatever reason I still remember some of them. One was called Animaloid, and it was basically that. It was basically that sci-fi channel show, but our own version of it where you can turn into an animal.
Oh, cool!
And I don't remember what the actual sci-fi channel was called. It was Manimal. It was called Manimal. But we called it Animaloid.
Did we play Manimal?
We didn't, but we played Animaloid. And then there was also this. We had these reoccurring. I guess you would call them skits or something that you would find in some Saturday Night Live thing or in Living Color or something where there was always this fish that wanted to be bought. And it was just big, and you would just represent him like this, and he would just and the problem with the fish is he seems very endearing because he sings a song of buy me, buy me, buy me, buy me, buy me.
Oh my God, I remember that. Whoa!
Did you invent Billy the Big Mouth Bass?
And then it's kind of cute. I think I'll take him home, and then that's the whole bit, and we play it, and it's usually one of us. One of us is
he never shuts up. That's
and one of us is the lead character. And we
this is writing 101.
Yeah, and then
I remember we did one called David the Cop, and it's you're a cop, and The show
David
starts with,
Cup.
and it's like your sunglasses fly onto your face, and
Oh yeah.
and it was just kind of
Oh,
it was
and
an
the theme
excuse
song.
that
I remember the theme
slap
song.
you in the face.
It was like David the cop.
and then you have to brace for impact of the glasses, like they magically slide onto his face, like that's the intro.
And so the person who was
This is the microphone, yeah.
it was like a microphone, a headset or something built into it.
And he had like a dog named Maddie, and it was basically like Lassie, but a ripoff.
I remember all that. So Bunny and I together almost remember the whole
Yeah,
child.
I remember that. Oh, there was a joke where he was interviewing someone with a name tag, and I was like, "That's my name, Carl. Don't wear it out." And like the bar, every time he said his name, the bar would like decrease. It was like, "Don't do it! Don't let me!" He like dies if he says his name too much.
There was also,
I don't know how I remember that specifically. That was one of the bits.
but there's also, and this was like elementary school. Maybe we did some of the stuff into middle school too, but I remember most of it was like elementary school and stuff. There was also like we had this one called Tiny Timmy, and it was just
Tiny
basically,
Timmy.
He was just very tiny, and that was instead of a fish. It was a giant teddy bear that talked to him, and it would always like and you'd have to do this is how you'd play that TV show, and someone would, and they would always think that's a giant teddy bear, and it would always go like,
Oh, hello.
"Hi, Timmy," or something
I
like
love
that.
how specific the details are that you still remember. Because like I have memories like my things are like
I remember
could
all
say,
this.
like we did this, but like I don't have any details of like
And I don't remember the theme song, but
I love that you remember
We just
so
we
much.
always got on this loop of like, well, we're gonna create a show. It needs a theme song. It needs catchphrases, like because we were inundated with television basically as children. So. I don't remember the Tiny Timmy theme song is kind of not in my head, but I definitely remember it was him like doing a chorus line kick or something.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember. There's another one where it's like it was more like Honey We Shrunk the Kids, but like we get shrunk down to a world and we talk to like these caterpillars and stuff.
Oh, I was about to say that. It was called Stinking in the Caterpillars.
Singing in the Caterpillars. Yeah. Well, like he was actually a centipede, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Wait,
supposed to be like that.
did Wolverine and/or the Incredible Hulk ever come through your shrunken lair? Because I feel like
we really never.
We did
We had
Awesome
we had like characters named like Army Ant or like
We never
like,
really did licensed
I don't know.
properties. We always were
Well,
interested in making our
we
own.
did when we had our like with Jurassic Park.
Yeah, for sure.
We had
had
our
toys.
Jurassic Park toys, but we played it like a family sitcom where it's a family of T-Rexes and the humans are the side.
my Jurassic Park toys
side
and my Barbies
characters.
played together all the time.
Oh, and we had
yeah.
Or we-
Breyer horses and we just made them superheroes.
Yeah, because our mom was into horses, so like when we go to all these Western shops, these the only toys they had would be these horses. So we gave them all superpowers. Like this one's super fast.
This
and
one can make
can multiply.
tornadoes.
Wait,
So-
did you create My Little Pony and Billy the Big
Pretty
Mouth Man?
much.
What's going on here?
But yeah, Stinky and the Caterpillars, who Stinky wasn't a caterpillar, it turned out he was.
Great.
So there was a whole arc, and I don't know how long that show lasted in our heads, but it definitely left an impression.
I don't know. There's like
Long time.
he like befriended the ants and like
Now,
went on adventures.
I remember Tiny Timmy had, or whatever the show was called, like he was obsessed with Budgie the helicopter, but that was an actual show, right?
Budgie the helicopter.
Budgie, little helicopter. It was like a children's show at the time.
There's like a
What?
British, yeah. Kind of like JJ the jet plane, I think.
I'm pretty sure Budgie the helicopter was a thing. Unless we
I don't
just created
remember
it ourselves,
all
but
the
no, I'm pretty
details.
sure we were just like that was his favorite show, and because we'd like making fun of it because of the theme song. Don't really know that part too.
Yeah, there was a show called Budgie.
Helicopter. Someone can tell us
Yeah, it
if
looks
we
like
made
a-
that up or if that was actually.
It's like
a
one of
show
those
that we-
PBS shows.
Yeah, something like that. You know, like JJ the Jet.
Britterland.
Yeah, those were I think those were the staples of ones we just kept playing over and over again. And oh yeah, the caterpillars were pillows because we had pillows, so they were just pillows.
Yeah, they're giant pillows.
So we
See, I-
had props.
I had older siblings, so like any game I was playing with my older siblings was always like, how can we get Brian to do this really stupid thing and then offer him something that was really worth nothing? like how can we're gonna tell him to go to the neighbor's house and then pull down his pants and say I'm a purple people eater, and we'll give him this G.I. Joe that's been garbage for, and then I was like, I don't know if I should do that. I don't know I should do that, everyone. That sounds like I might get in trouble. Like, no, Brian, you're not going to get in trouble. It's fine. And look at this G.I. Joe. You're going to get this one. It's your favorite, right? I'm like, I do like that G.I. Joe. All right, I'll do it. And then I go do it. And they're like, oh, did you say this one? I'm like, this one right directly behind it. This is the one that you don't like. Eat that.
Oh, being a kid.
And then you're like, I can't pull my pants up. I can't pull my pants back.
we went to a cabin. We played a game called like it was like Slugs. You know, like a caterpillar game, except it wasn't as fun because I was the slug. I got in a sleeping bag and I like crawled around like a slug, and then they just threw things at me. I was playing a game.
That's the game. That's
Okay, they like took heavy objects, threw them at my head.
Never say never, Brian. I don't know.
Never say never.
That's the best.
Yeah, I think Bunny and I were just lucky because we were the same age, so twins growing up, and we
Yeah.
always
Shit, for sure.
I mean, obviously there were times we fought, like all siblings do, even at young age, but like most of the time we always had someone to play with or pretend and stuff. So that we were probably blessed with that, especially given our crappy childhood. That's probably why I remember those moments more than anything else, is because it's like that.
Sure.
It's like it's ingrained in me as like a positive experience from childhood.
Yeah.
Plus,
Yeah,
I
that's pretty
think
much
most
what we
of that
do
speaks
these
to-
days now. Just
I do envy the fact that you had to fight each other, though. It's just like you're at least in the same weight class. My brother was like 2.5 years older. Like when you're a kid, like 2.5 years
we
old.
do a lot
that's
of wrestling.
big.
I mean, I guess probably when we pretend we have superpowers, we probably beat the shit out of each other. I can't remember.
I
Sorry,
think it was other kids
said
that
the
would
S
probably
word.
try to do that, but we just weren't those kind of kids. So we were kind of like,
Yeah, we didn't beat
didn't
up.
wanna
There wasn't a lot of
Yeah.
superiority.
Oh yeah, we were pretty rowdy.
we weren't.
Yeah,
very
we came from an
good-
abusive household though, too. Like
Yeah,
our
true.
parents did the abuse or the pounding.
So I think instinctually we were always, I don't know, just always kind of like.
Protective.
Yeah, we didn't.
We weren't anti-violence. We
roughhouse
obviously played
too
violent video
much.
games and stuff, but like
Yeah, I get that.
Okay,
Cool.
That was a nice.
I have an answer
Reminisce.
Oh yeah.
for that.
Oh yeah, Jesse.
This is yeah. So late '90s kids. I mean, we were really some of the last generation to grow up without smartphones and iPads and all that. So I did my fair share of digging around in the dirt as a kid. Playing in the backyard every night. And okay, so we used to have a bamboo thicket in our backyard growing up, and the dead ones would fall over. Camille and I would take these giant bamboo poles, these hard dead bamboo poles, and we'd grind the ends of them on the concrete patio and chase each other around with giant bamboo spears.
Yes.
Is that playing or is that just
You were
like
Lord of the
chasing?
Flies.
Yeah, we were
You
like
were
full on
totally-
Lord of the Flies. We had giant, like sharp, pointy-ended bamboo spears that we would run
Your
around
parents
with.
were just
Wow.
Yeah, they're whatever. They're not gonna hurt each other. Like we were, I don't know. Like we were some of the last '90s kids who I feel like did weird shit like that.
Man, and I'm just thinking about like the couple of like childhood pictures I've seen of you and Camille. You're just like big blonde froze running around. Like that's like that's like a horror movie right there. Just like you can't even see their face.
Wait,
and then
we're
got
like
bamboo
Langoliers,
sticks, like,
just like covered in hair, like running around. Yeah, like Lord of the
like
Flies.
over your faces too. It's not like back. Like it's
No,
not. It's just
no,
like
no.
you guys are both like. I see you. I see both. I saw that picture. I saw both of you as kids. I was like, oh, you little troublemakers. I see you. I see you.
Everyone thought
I
we
like
were
it,
like.
but I see you.
I don't know why we had this like look about us. Everyone thought we were like little angels, but no. You should have seen
Troublemakers.
us.
I see it.
Yeah.
I see the sharp little teeth you have. Oh, biters.
I saw the home video of you rocking back and forth on a swing set, going la 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 la.
I think it was like I think it must have been like the really big curly hair and the chubby cheeks or something. But everyone was always like, "Oh, you guys are so sweet," and like we were anything but.
cut to a scene of you guys with a big head on his.
There's also some other stuff I remember. Like we had our own SNL show too, like that we shot on a camcorder.
Oh, nice.
But I would love Camille
Oh,
to
you
be
shot
here
it.
to talk about that because that was like something that her and her best friend did when they were kids, and I was kind of a part of that too. But I can say that it was called Pigeon Night Live. and I hope that
Yes.
those camcorder like cassette tapes still exist, and I want to find them someday. But I'll wait to talk about Pigeon Night Live.
I bet David and I have some old videos laying around somewhere.
I still have the camcorder.
Oh my gosh.
From probably like I think it was sophomore year of high school.
We got to do cringe movie nights.
But I don't have a way to
gather up all
transfer
the footage.
it. Wait, do I?
Oh man,
I might be.
if
some
you
of
could,
them,
that would be amazing.
Some of them are the micro DV tapes that came out, and so I can plug it into FireWire. I think I still have a FireWire port somewhere on one of these computers.
Do you still have that Flash cartoon of our Lord of the Rings thing that we did?
It's gone.
It
used to be on Newgrounds.
We were just talking about
They got rid of
this.
all Flash stuff, so it's gone.
Yeah.
We should have.
Oh,
That's wild that you brought that up because we were just talking about that like 2
I'm always
nights ago.
think about the old stuff that's lost to the ages.
Down that I said the F.
Oh.
Just the other day, I was like, man, because I just saw it
What
like a year
time?
ago, and then it's gone now.
Yeah.
107, 106.
I saw that it was gone on Newgrounds like a year ago.
I don't remember like lots of details from Pigeon Night Live, but I do know that I was roped in filming some of their
That's
skits
cool.
with them. And one of them was like interview with Phantom of the Opera, and it was just me with my Halloween plastic Phantom of the Opera mask, a black beach towel wrapped around me as a cape, and like a straw hat. It was just like, that kind of
Nice.
you can imagine 10 to 12-year-olds.
I have some
backyard.
old tapes. You remember the ones that you would put in a converter, and then that would be a VHS, and then you would put that converted VHS thing into VHS player, and it would play it. So I have those camcorder ones from like they're super old. I'm sure they'd still work if we could find a VHS player, and then somehow get a video capture card for, the.
As long as you don't throw them away, but I guess you probably want to do it in the next 10 years before they start degrading.
well, they're
too
already,
much.
like-
I've got a VHS player that you can plug into your computer.
But I need to find one that I'm gonna look online or something. I should do it. Just back it up, even though it's gonna be cringe and we're gonna be like 9 years old pretending.
Cringe.
We watched something the other day. It's really important. Just get it because it's like there's something that's like I don't know. It's like therapeutic, like seeing like versions of yourself as like, a kid, or versions of other people as well. Like I don't know.
I think that I aired some of we showed off our high school mythology class stuff that we did.
Yeah, that's on our Patreon, so people can watch those two things. Those we definitely digitally transferred a long time ago, so I can do some of that with some of the other stuff. Who knows, though? But yeah, and for some of that old stuff that's like before high school, like I gotta get a VHS player that I can capture from. I don't even know where I'd start, but I'm sure they make something now that for the USB or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll get right on that.
Just waiting to be re-explored.
Yeah. Just get it on a hard drive, throw it on the cloud before the tapes degrade. Because VHSs only last about 10 years anyways, and then they keep degrading in quality, so they're only going to get worse. Anywho, this was a nice detour on the Bennettarium.
Yeah, that was fun.
Let's keep that up. Next time in February, one of you guys can come up with some question that is going to spark a long conversation about.
That's wonderful.
We'll interview each other. That's nice.
That sounds awesome. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for the laughs today, everyone. It was real refreshing to be able to laugh with you.
Yeah.
Sure was. Yeah.
Happy
Hope you all
New
had
Year, everyone.
A chuckle.
Hope you
Yeah,
guys
Happy New Year.
have a nice celebration. This is the last thing we're doing with Steam Powered Giraffe. I think
We'll
this
see you
year.
all in
This year.
2021.
Except for that thing tomorrow. That surprise.
Surprise.
And we'll tune in 12 o'clock. Surprise. Woo! All right. See y'all tomorrow.
See y'all, and now we do the outro song.
Outro.
And we should
This
do that.
was the Bennettarium. You were on the Bennettarium, and then we all sat around and watched Bennettarium. Yeah.
Bennettarium. This was the Bennettarium. You all listen to the song on the Bennettarium.
Cookie Crisp.
Yeah.
So,
Chelsea and I were talking a lot about cereal last night.
I'll see you later, Bubba.
we went down like a total rabbit hole of like cereals from our childhood.
Gotta have my pops. Man,
Gotta have
I don't
my
know.
Pops.
Just go watch a bunch of those cereal commercials, and you'll be like, "Wow, Why were they pushing sugar cereal so much?
You kidding me? To get people addicted. Wolverine out! Man,
So long.
can't go further. Oh no, I'm still here!